Hey, Canucks fans, it is draft day. The wait is almost over. We're about six and a half hours away from the Canucks making their first pick of the draft at number 11, unless they trade up or down, which I doubt. But I think it's time to talk about who are some likely candidates for the Canucks to take. Now, in my head, I've always said, let's not even talk about the big five, as it would be great to get one of these five players, but there's barring a miracle or something crazy or something crazy happening, we're not going to get Connor Bedard, Adam Fantilli, Leo Carlsson, Will Smith, or Matvei Michkov. Doesn't matter where they go, but I don't think we're going to get any of those guys. I simply don't see Michkov falling to us at 11. Wouldn't that be what a decision it would be, though, for the Canucks to make if Michkov fell all the way to 11? But I don't see him getting past Washington at 8. In fact, I don't even see him getting past Philadelphia at 7. So that's my guess, if I had to guess, if Michkov goes at 7 or 8. So either you say that the top four are likely going to be Bedard, Fantilli, Carlson, and Smith in whatever order. I would say the next group that's going to go, and yesterday I said I put 4 players in there, but I'm going to say 3 for sure. I think Reinbacher, Michkov, and Ryan Leonard, those 3 guys are likely to be among the next group to go 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there for sure. So let's just say we've kind of knocked off 7 guys. Then for the Canucks at 11, obviously it depends on what happens before them, especially 8, 9, 10. But you can really kind of at least look at it in terms of 2 different categories of players, the forwards and the defensemen. I know that's not rocket science, but in the forwards, so possibly at 11, you could have a Zach Benson out of Winnipeg, the winger, the gifted and skilled playmaker. A few questions about his size, but that seems like almost too good of a player to pass up. There's a lot of talk about Matthew Wood, the big player from the big winger. Is he a winger or center? I think he's a winger from Nanaimo. There's a lot of talk about Oliver Moore, known as the fastest skater in this draft from the U.S. development team. He's a center. Nate Danielson, a lot of talk about him. Canucks really like this player, a good two-way player, can play power play and penalty kill. I'm kind of up and down on Danielson, maybe because he's the one guy that I know the least about. There's also Gabe Perreault, who is put up a ton of points playing alongside Will Smith and Ryan Leonard on the U.S. national team. There's also Dalibor Dvorsky, the center as well. He's getting a lot of love as well. So there's like 6 or 7 forwards that I just mentioned there that the Canucks could look at. And again, it's Benson, it's Wood, it's Danielson, it's Dvorsky, it's I'm sure I mentioned a couple other guys in there. Oh, Perreault and more. So there's 6 right there. Then there are the 3 defensemen. I say 3, it's 4, but Reinbacher's going to be gone. I really think Reinbacher's going to be gone. So then you're looking at guys like Tom Willander, Sandin Pellikka, and Dmitri Simashev. Now, Simashev is the only left-handed defenseman of the crew, and I know a lot of people really like him. Craig Button doesn't, but I know that Chris Faber does, and others like him, Cam Robinson. And with Simashev, you're getting a true shutdown guy who's a really good skater, hasn't really developed his offensive game yet, but really disruptive with the stick and has really good gap play. And you're looking at certainly a top 4, maybe even the top pairing guy for years to come. A guy, if you pick him, you can slot him right behind Quinn Hughes, and then you're set on your left side for many, many years to come. So Simashev, it kind of fascinating. In all the mock drafts I see, he's kind of going after the Canucks pick at 11, but I know many, many Canucks fans, including the ones that voted on my Twitter poll this morning, would pick him over the 2 Swedes in Sandin Pellikka and in Tom Willander. So keep your eye on Dmitri Simashev out of Russia. I think he's locked in for 2 more years in Russia, but that's about the time frame we'd expect from a pick of this nature anyways. Then there's Tom Willander. His stock is rising a lot. Very, very good skater. Doesn't have the same offensive ability and maybe creativity as Sandin Pellikka, but a bit more of a safer player. Also decent size and good gap control. Really good on both especially retrieving pucks from his own end. So I think he's more the safer player than Sandin Pellikka. And I think in most people's eyes, they like Willander over Sandin Pellikka. And I think Willander has kind of been rising as Sandin Pellikka has kind of been falling a little bit in the rankings. And then with Sandin Pellikka, This is a guy who's, I wouldn't say just like Quinn Hughes, but similar size and similar attributes. Really good skater, really good, really kind of a daredevil when it comes to offense. Always looking to fill gaps, always looking to jump the rush. And some have questioned his decision making. And really, if you're looking for, although he's got a lot of offensive giftedness, but if you're looking at someone, if you're looking at him as a future power play one guy, why would you draft him if you already have your power play one guy in Quinn Hughes? So that's why I think of these three defensemen, I think sending Pellikka would be number 3 on my list. And that'd be fine with either Simashev or Willander. They're both bigger guys who can skate well. Willander maybe a bit more offensive. Simashev maybe plays a bit of a tougher game. But regardless, they're both really, really good players. Simashev, a left-handed defenseman. Willander, a right-handed defenseman. So it depends, I guess. It'd be fascinating if those two guys are there for the Vancouver Canucks. They have to choose one or the other. And that's just if they're going to go defenseman. Like I said, there are some options at forward that will be there. Not all these guys will be there, but it could be anyone of, like I said, of Benson, of Wood, of Danielson, of Moore, of Perreault, of Dvorsky, nice mixture of centers, nice mix of wingers. And that doesn't even include guys like Samuel Honzik, the guy who played in Vancouver, who some say he could jump up a lot as well. Kobe Barlow as well, a more pugnastic player. So there's like, wow, there's going to be 8 or 9 forwards that the Canucks could choose from, or maybe 7 or 8, and then maybe 2 or 3 defensemen as well. So the Canucks will no doubt have a plethora of options when picking at 11, and that's how deep this draft is. That's how intrigued, how invested people are in this draft. One last question for you. If, let's say, the Canucks have 5 or 6 guys on the radar that are still available at 11, would you entertain trading down to 14 or 15 or 16? Basically trading down, acquiring, for instance, another pick, maybe a second-round pick, and or maybe being able to move some money off the roster. Maybe that doesn't do it. The more I think about it, I think you're more likely, if you're trading down only 4 or 5 spots, you're likely trying to acquire another pick in the second round as opposed to moving off a Beauvillier at 4.1 or a Garland at 4.9. I think it's going to take a little bit more than that, and those deals are a little bit more complicated. But question to you is, would you consider that as well? So I'm going to ask you, who do you want the Canucks to draft? And I'm going to ask you to be as realistic as you can. You don't have to mock out all 10 picks before the Canucks pick for me in the comments. But you obviously, you can't say Bedard, you can't say Fantilli. Realistically, who might be there at 11 that you think the Canucks should draft today? Let me know in the comments below. I love to read, react, and reply to your comments throughout the day. For the draft itself, I'll have some people over, so I won't be streaming or anything, but I'll probably check in with at least 1 or 2 videos later on today. So I hope you guys enjoy the draft, and I hope it's going to be a really good day for the Vancouver Canucks. Shout out to my sponsors, Vancity Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform Personal Training Weight Loss. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovlander, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. Thanks for your support, and thanks to all of you for watching and subscribing. Always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. On the way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a tip, become a member, upgrade your membership, and leave a comment down below. Who should the Canucks take with the number 11 pick today? Have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.